All right, so let's see what our next guest thinks about that. Cuban native and Republican Congressman Mario Diaz-Balart from Florida joins me now. Congressman, good to talk to you again. Thanks for coming back.
Hi, Martha.
So the president basically says, look, we've been doing this for 50 years, and there's been no progress, so let's try something different.
Well, it's interesting, depending on what you want as progress. Look, there are two reasons why we have the sanctions. One is for our national security interests. We have to remember that when the Cuban regime had funding, they were getting the funding from the Soviet Union. Well, our GIs died fighting Cubans in Grenada. They had sent troops to Latin America, to Africa. So have the sanctions worked to protect our national security interests? You better believe it, because Castro now doesn't have the money to do what he used to do when he had the money. That's part of the reason for the sanctions. The other reason is the leverage, so that when the Castro brothers go, and they're about to go, they're both over 80, that it's the leverage to have a democratic transition. Because what the law says, and what has always been the policy, was that once three things happen: the freeing of all political prisoners without exception, basic freedoms like freedom of the press, political parties, etc., and then elections take place, all the sanctions go away. What President Obama has just done is given away all of the leverage that the United States has and has had to do everything to guarantee a transition towards democracy. And he has done so getting what in return? Frankly, because remember, there's two parts of this. What Obama has given to the Castro regime, which is what they've been asking for. But then also, he did this exchange for Mr. Gross and then three spies that were in prison here, including one of them for conspiracy to murder Americans. In fact, they did murder Americans. Something that he said that he would never do is exchange those spies for Alan Gross. Well, he did that as well. So
they're
he's
still
done
saying that that was not an exchange,
that
Congressman. What do you say to the fact that Josh Earnest said yesterday in the press briefing, they're not connected because I said so?
Yeah, they're not connected because, so what happened? Obama gave three spies. We got Alan Gross, and then I think maybe somebody else, which is what the regime has always said is what the exchange was going to be. And all of a sudden, that's not an exchange, just because he wants to call it something else. This is a president. Look, that's a Gruber moment, but the American people are smarter than that. It's pretty clear that this was an exchange, and it's pretty clear that this was everything that the Castro regime has asked for decades. They've spent hundreds of millions of dollars lobbying and working to try to get this. They got it for free from President Obama, and we got, frankly, little, if anything, in exchange.
So the argument is shed the light, bring light into Cuba through the internet access, through, the prospect of democracy in the future, that because these avenues will be open now, life will change for people in Cuba. And, of course, everybody would love to see democratic change come to Cuba. But what do you think the reality will be for the people of Cuba at this point?
Again, that's what they're saying, but that's another Gruber moment. The reality is that there's no pressure to get any of those things done. There are no conditions on giving the Cubans access to the internet. There's no condition. This is a gift to the Castro regime. There are no conditions on human rights. The conditions are the sanctions. So what the president has said is, oh, we're going to do this, hoping that now that they have all the money, everything that they've asked for, with no conditions, that they will do what they've never done.
Do you think the president...
It's frankly not the first time.
Pardon me, just real quick, because I got to go. Do you think he should go to Cuba, the president?
No, I don't think he should, but I guarantee you that he will. I think this president wants to go meet Fidel Castro. I think for the radical left, Fidel Castro is almost the messiah. He's the great leader. I would be very surprised if President Obama doesn't insist on going to see Castro before Castro dies.
Very interesting. All right, Congressman, thank you. We'll see if you're right. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you.